Ladies and gentlemen, please excuse this brief interruption, but I have to tell you about a very cool and interactive way that you can experience the show. I'm talking about how you can chime in on the live show broadcast at your convenience using the Buy Me a Coffee app on your phone. You might be asking, what the heck is Buy Me a Coffee? Well, it's a fun and easy way that you can tip the show during our live broadcast or even later at buymeacoffee.com/dangerousinfopodcast. I also have that link listed down below in the description. Now get this, when you see the Buy Me a Coffee banner show up on the screen when you're watching the show, it's got the logo and all that, that is the time when you can send your tip. But here's the fun part. It happens instantaneously and your message will just pop up on the screen along with a little audio message that I have preloaded. It might be a rooster crowing, a crazy dog bark, or a hilarious audio clip that I ended up finding along the way. So your interaction will hit us by surprise, and you, along with the other live viewers, will enjoy a laugh by what you just did. And if that isn't enough, I just learned that on the audio playback on the screen in your car, you will also get a fun alert scrolling across your radio. Yeah, that's crazy. But be careful driving is what I'm saying. All right, now let's get you back to the show, and I look forward to seeing your surprise pop up unexpectedly so you can scare Outcast and make us laugh. All right, you guys, stay dangerous by hitting us with the most interactive message. Now let's get back to the show.
Our institutions have become corrupt. Unconstitutional agencies are infringing on your rights. Your liberty was secured by strong men and women of yesterday. Yes. With Jesse Jaymz and Outcast. Dangerous. Stay blessed in the battle.
Want to open a can? Just push a button. And when it's open, the top doesn't fall in. A magnet holds onto it. Want water in the pot? Just push a button. The water comes right to the stove. When ashes drop in this housewife's heaven, yes, just push a button. Oscar, the radar vacuum, will clean up the mess. Just sitting around gets tiring, why, you go to bed. Oscar will put himself away. Want the beds moved? Just push a button. Now, if there was only a push button to stop the meter. A button on the dashboard opens the garage doors of Rendezvous, Navy veteran Arnold Forsman's push-button paradise home at San Rafael, California. This electrical Eden is run by 136 switches, 44 motors, and a...
Yes, good morning, everybody. Good morning. Welcome to the Rise and Shine. Top of the morning to you is what I'm saying to the Dangerous Info family. Yep, this is the Rise and Shine morning show. Lord bless this transmission and guide our intentions in this episode. Can I get an amen, you guys? Hey, it looks like we need a little prayer for Amber Grace down there. She says, please have favor with my car today. Yes. I'm sure a lot of people are going to have issues coming up. But yeah, look, praying for you, Amber, on your car, and make sure everything is still rolling proper and correct for you. We have a nice little show for you guys today, all right? This is what we're talking about. Today we have... let me see here. Let me get over here for you guys. We're going to be talking about a winter storm prep guide that I put together with the help of somebody else. But we're also going to be talking about the meeting at Davos, some connected persons, and something about that Hubble telescope. I'll show you when we get there. But it's going to be a good one. It's a up here in Michigan, we have it's a snowy morning. Yeah, we woke up to another blizzard. Listen, you guys, I've been in the plow truck for so many days since the last time we've talked, even going into the last week. But looks like we have a little bit of snow right now. Still, it's been a blizzard all morning again. It looks like it's starting to wind down. So when I'm done with the show, I'm going to be jumping back into the plow truck and heading back out. Boy, we got a lot of stuff, a lot of snow to deal with, and we're going to get into that a little bit later. But it looks like the Farmer's Almanac was right. Did you know that they're going to stop printing the Farmer's Almanac? Yeah, this is the final year. The final printing is right now. So the stuff that the farmers were selling, and it was great. I always had a good time with the Farmer's Almanac. But if you're going to get one, you might want to grab one as soon as you can. It looks like we're having some issues. I'm seeing the stream connections, and looks like things are reconnecting. So I don't know if you guys are seeing any issues, but pill.net and Twitch looks like there might be a little bit of stream issue. I don't know if it has anything to do with the weather, but possibly. But listen, you guys, I want to make sure to give a shout out to our affiliate today. All right, our affiliate today is GrubTerra for giving us the opportunity of a 20% discount to give to you guys. All right, on all their pet products while you purchase, through our link that's listed down below underneath the GrubTerra link. I'm talking about the Chicken Coop Refresher product. It smells so good. That's it right here. This one's rosemary and thyme. This is what I put in my coop, you guys. About once a month, something like that, to keep the coop fresh and keep the animals, the chickens, just to keep everything fresh is what I'm saying, clean and smelling good. So it's a better home for them, better home for me. GrubTerra is these little packets that are in there, and we're affiliated with GrubTerra now. So if you guys want to check that, get in there and check it out. They also have the worms for the larvae for the lizards indoors, and some of the pet stuff that's inside. Plus the chickens eat that for healthy coat. Makes everything look good. So check our link down below in the description under GrubTerra. You'll save 20% because of the Dangerous Info affiliate. All right. So thank you and good morning, everybody. I see Hicktown's there. Ms. Melody. Yeah, I think the old Farmer's Almanac is still going to be around, but the new one is going away. I hope you're right, Ms. Melody. I don't like seeing that it's going away, but who knows what the model is going to be there. If it's something electronic, I'm not a big fan of that because we can't trust electric things. We can't trust all that kind of stuff. But a booklet, yeah, a book. I would love to have a book. And today, if you guys see behind me, I got the VCR and the little TV back behind me. I just put the tape in. It is Braveheart, Mel Gibson. I have the double edition right here, but this is episode 1, or the first one, Mel Gibson, the Braveheart. So that's what's happening behind me. Musical Lover says, do you plan to get on some sleep? Yeah, I've been able to get some sleep. Last night was pretty good. It looks like it's really windy right now. The wind is picked up. The snow, I see it going past the windows out there. So yeah, it is what it is, you guys. We're in it. This is winter up in the north. This is what we're talking about. The problem is what's going to happen here coming up this, I think tomorrow. Let me see. What is today? Today's Friday. Starting Friday, I believe, and through the whole weekend is the southern part of the United States that aren't used to all this stuff. So we'll get into that in just a little bit. I don't know about anybody out there, but I've always been into feeding my birds. All right. And not just the chickens, but I'm talking about the birds outside. I'm up out there. It's good to look outside and watch the feeders and see what the birds are doing, and the squirrels and the chickens and the deer and the turkeys and all that stuff. So, I've been a big time bird feeder, for a long time, decades, going back probably to the 90s. I've always been feeding the birds. And, if anybody out there is doing that same thing, just put it in the comments. I'm always into the feeding the birds and that. It's a great thing to watch. You see the routines during the day, right? Every day you get up, open up the blinds or whatever, and they're doing what they're doing, and it's difficult for them to get food right now. So anything I can do to help, well, that's what I'm doing. And plus we have a pond in Little Pond. I keep an aerator going, so there's always open water for the animals around here. Even though they're buried in a foot of snow right now. So the deer, I give them carrots, which are gone now. The last bit of carrots were gone just before Christmas, and sugar beets. And I'm still getting sugar beets, and I'm getting corn from this farmer that's just not too far from us. So I enjoy feeding the animals and keeping them coming around. Because look, it can get pretty boring if you're not doing something in the winter, right? And to be cooped up, I'm not a fan of being all cooped up and all that. So, oh yeah, we got some stuff going on right here on the chat. So I'll put those chats up on the screen, and it just adds a little more to the ambiance of winter. And candles. I don't know about you guys, but I've been into candles for a while too, especially around Christmas. Before Christmas time, between Thanksgiving and Christmas, I'm burning candles like crazy, and it's always the good clean candles, not those nasty ones from the China and all that, and made from with all those toxic chemicals. I don't like that. Just beeswax, or even the bayberry. It's mixed with beeswax. It's all just 100% pure ingredient, not scented. It's scented because of what it is. That's natural, its own natural scent. But you really can't smell that stuff when it's burning. But I stay away from all those other candles from the stores that are just, the petroleum based and the soy and all that stuff. No, and none of that stuff. So I don't know about you guys, but I'm big into that stuff. I enjoy that too. That's wintertime stuff. It's cozy to me, with the coffee and all that, and I like to be up before the sun is up, before it gets light out, and have a candle and sit there and read and prepare for the day or whatever. I just like it. Even at nighttime, I'll throw a candle on and just put up somewhere high where everybody can see it. So that's just some things that I like. Look, winter can drive you all crazy, right? If you're all cooped in and with not much to do. Puzzles, things like that. So think about those kind of things. All right, there's some things that I want to talk about, and we're going to be talking about this fairly soon. The weather down below, but I want to get some things, our winter storm prep guide is what I'm talking about. Davos. So Davos is on right now, and that's over in Switzerland. And I've been hollering about Davos and Bilderberg and, all these other meetings, these summits that these so-called elites have every year that get together and they plan our futures for us. Isn't that nice, right? Somebody we didn't even elect, and they're over there planning our futures and shaping the future that they want in their arms. But look, I'm not all about it. The speeches are already coming out. Especially like Noah Harari, his kind of stuff. All these little minions of Klaus Schwab and the World Economic Forum people. All these entitled globalists that they're planning for us. But listen, I've got plans. I've got my own plans, and I'm sure you guys do too. So. Again, as they come together, and as we get called conspiracy theorists for talking about this stuff, yet they have these meetings every year and planning for things. They're really talking this year about, right now, currently, just the other day, they're talking about chemtrailing and spraying and geoengineering. And, you get so many people that personally, when you bring these things up to them, they'll say stuff like, oh, that's not real. That's conspiracy theorist stuff. Yet you have these globalists in their summit meetings right now talking about what they're going to be doing and how they do it and how they don't like it personally, but it's got to be done and all these things. So it's crazy. Yeah, this Davos stuff. Music Lover says, I always get Davos and Davros confused in my head. One is a Doctor Who villain that looks just like Soros. Yeah. Well, there's also the same guy in, what's the Mike Myers? What's the Mike Myers stuff? His episodes. What are those? Hicktown says, I'm getting all my prep done for the storm today. Yeah, we're going to be getting into some of that prep stuff, so I'll be able to help you with some of those things. Music Left says, what's bayberry? It's from the plant, the bayberry plant. So those candles are green, and they're the tall. I use the tall tapers, 7 to 9 inch tapers. Those ones are great. There might be, you see right behind my head back there, there's a white one back there, right behind that clock, right there. You see that? That's one of them. That one I just have there to look at. Yeah, Austin Powers. Thank you. Austin Powers. That's, there's a character in there. The guy that, goes like that with the bald head and with the little pet. That's their version of Klaus Schwab. All right. So yeah, talking about these globalists and Davos and all this stuff. So that's happening right now. All right. And Orange Man, he was just over there hollering about stuff, and he's not about all that stuff. He doesn't like it, which really drives them crazy over there because they had it. They had everybody. They had all these presidents and prime ministers. Most of them are all about enslaving their people in their countries. But right now, it looks like last time Trump was there too. He doesn't like their type of governance. He likes a different type of governance that I'm curious about and kind of worried about too. This whole technology kind of technocracy kind of stuff. So I'm still got my eye on all that, but it might be just another type of tyranny. Who knows? But let's not pay attention to them guys as far as them trying to control our life. Let's be aware of it. But only I and God is going to, that's what I want for look at my hat. God is greater than government. All right. That's the mentality right there. That's a mentality for me. I hope it's the mentality for you guys. Just be aware of what these guys are doing. They're trying to plan our futures for us, trying to shape it and steer it, and they've been successful at it. They've been doing it for a long time. And, the way that they're pushing things and the way they bring things to market and the way that they're working with these companies, these tech companies, these utilities. That's the big thing right there. The way that they're shaping our lives through our utilities and through our automobiles, appliances for the house, our everyday thing. They're already into all that stuff. That's why these companies are doing the things that they're doing, is because they're being told to do this stuff, because that's the quote way of the future. That's the globalist model, right? They don't like the sovereign, independent nations. They don't recognize our Constitution. They recognize a global citizen. That's what they want for us. We don't pledge our allegiance to a global flag, right? No, that's the whole thing with this European Union. I can't believe the European Union is still there from the 1940s. I can't believe they haven't broken that up yet. And taking orders from Brussels, Belgium, telling them what they can and can't do from a country that's thousands of miles away in a little city, and telling you that you can't fish around your shores. And no. But that's the model they want for all of us. And just letting you know that's what's going on right now at Davos. And this is summit season right now. All these summits and these conventions or, where these so-called elites get together and keep planning our stuff. Yeah, that's happening right now. And it's going to happen here for the next couple of months. So just keep an eye on it. There's more to come. Let's see here. I have... You know what? Think about this. Okay, so I have the Hubble telescope. You guys all know what that is, right? The Hubble telescope that they tell us that is the most powerful, most advanced telescope that it can see so far into space, right? So-called space. Well, if this thing is so far advanced, and I remember when it got all hung up and there were issues with that thing. Hang on, music lover, you're saying that they've had more practice being nefarious than we've had noticing the shenanigans. Yeah, that's completely true. You're talking about those so-called elitists, globalists. Yep, they've been at it for a long time, man, long time. And they needed the technology to get to get caught up to their thoughts and ideas and their planning, and that's where we're at now. So the technology is there along with their plans, and we're seeing it all unfold, and they're delivering it to us too. And we're already using it. All the smart stuff, that's all part of their plans. But they give us this fancy marketing that on TV and radio, that we need to have all these things because it makes our life so much easier. Yeah. Talking back to about the Jaymz Webb, I think it used to be the best. The Jaymz Webb has been top of the line for now. Yeah. So the Jaymz Webb, the Hubble, all those, the more advanced, right? So just think about this for a second. This is not long. So they tell us about these fantastic new telescopes and equipment that they have out there that they put out, and they can see so far into their so-called space that they're trying to tell us, right? So Why haven't they never just turned the telescope around and just shined it and pointed it back at Earth? Maybe they have for their purposes, but since it's so close, they say, to Earth, shouldn't they be able to see every blade of grass that's here? If they can see galaxies or whatever they try to tell us far away. So here's my question. If that thing that can see so far away, those telescopes, couldn't they easily just turn it at Earth and just look right at it? It's like us looking outside versus us looking in the living room, right? Just turn it around and look at us. Would they see us here in the States, just see us walking around doing things, and then just look down a little bit and see Australia? Would everybody in Australia be upside down? That's my only question. Would all the people down in China, Australia, be walking around upside down if they were able to just turn those telescopes around and look instead of looking out there? That's just one for you guys to chew on a little bit. We've never seen those images. We've never seen anybody upside down, have we? Why? Why not? I'll just leave that right there. You guys can think about it. All right. So there are, let me see. I've got some stuff. Do you remember a few weeks back? All right. Everybody remembers when we sent some troops into Venezuela to arrest Maduro. Right? You guys remember that when they sent a small group, a small team, and some support, right? There was some air support that helped create some distractions. And then our small team got in there. Delta Force got in, is what they tell us. And they got in undercover with some helicopters and took out probably, they took out a small amount of people. This small group of Delta Force, American military. So I believe this was something that you sent to me, Music Lover, somewhere. I can't remember where, but there was a guy talking about the local Venezuelans. And after the Americans had left and arrested Maduro and took him, there was a local group of men, military type of guys, talking about how they were raided by these Americans, and they had some equipment with them, the Americans, that they have never seen before, never heard before, never knew existed. Something that was so great and so scary for them that the small group of Americans in the Delta Force, I want to say maybe at the most 25 guys, took out hundreds of other military guys, sometimes not even firing a shot, but they had some equipment with them. It was making their eyes bleed, making their nose bleed, just putting them down where they were. These military guys from Venezuela ended up talking to other people that they know down south in Latin America and all that. Other countries, there's a lot of small countries very close to relevance to each other. And word started getting around, so-called rumor, gossip, whatever it is, saying, man, I don't know what these Americans came in here with, but they took so many of us out without even firing a shot. They were scared. They never saw or heard of any type of this equipment that they've had. They never knew it existed until that night that they came and took Maduro out. I can tell you that Raytheon and, some of our military industrial complex contractors, I used to, I've played some of the videos on our mainstream show on Monday about our, what was it called? The anti-protest weapons that we have that are mounted on trucks. And, that was years ago. And now these things are mounted on smaller, the smaller things. They're crowd control type weaponry that they can disperse weapons. They can make you feel like your skin is burning off. Well, these things can be mounted on, helicopters and equipment, probably on guys' backs. They can be mounted, put together out of backpacks. So I'm wondering if that's the kind of stuff. And, there's so much high tech that we've never seen or never heard about. Usually we won't hear about these things until they're 50 years old anyway. But the rumor going around, the gossip, these Venezuelan military were telling other militaries around them, is that this weaponry that these Americans came in with was something that they've never heard before. Now I'm going to play this video. And this guy here, it looks like he's ex special forces, or I'm not sure what it is, but it looks like he was on the Joe Rogan show a while ago. And you got to see this technology that they had, or that they're using now. And I don't know if this stuff was used in Venezuela. I imagine it was. Why not? But if you could see through walls, container ships, containers, vehicles, if you can see through that stuff and see people on the other side, the kind of stuff that we saw in movies and think that's just in Hollywood kind of stuff. It's not. Check this out.
You're going to notice a drone picks up a guy behind that container over there. And what's going to happen is when he walks behind that container,
So this guy that's talking for the audio people, he's wearing a military helmet. It's got the night vision. All the vision is on there. And, the helmets that they wear. These are smart technology that they have in these helmets, in their eye glare, their glass, all that stuff. So they're able to see so many different things. Now, I'm just going to let you go with what we're going here, but he's showing on the screen. These guys walking around. So here we go.
Able to continue to see where he is and what he's doing. So here's Ghost X is the drone that's watching. So just watch for a moment. So the blue force is my friendlies. So see that little right-hand corner where it sees behind the containers? They're tracking where the bad guy is. They're tracking where my guys are. And then watch when they go behind the container. So I can actually see through it and watch. Now they're engaging the guy over there, and he's down. Wow. So this is a system that allows everybody to basically be operating as one combined hive mind, where you can...
One combined hive mind. Now, he called that drone, it was real fast. I don't know if you guys heard it, but the Ghost X drone that they put out there in the battlefield, and they all worked through it. Got 20 seconds left.
All share a view of the world. And by the way, this view that I have, it's shared now with all of the robots as well. So anything I see, like let's see I see someone inside of a building, every drone and every person now sees that person where he is. It's so crazy that I was born at the right time to actually get to build all of this stuff.
What do you guys think of that? All that smart tech. Yeah, it's being used against people in other countries right now, but depending on who's in charge of it, I'll just tell you what, it'd be nice that if something ever jumps off, if something ever really pops off, I hope some of these guys that know how to use this equipment will use it for good in the right way, if you know what I'm talking about, and not against their fellow Americans. I do know that in the end, low tech will beat the high tech. It's just how far down that line is that going to be? I don't know. We might know. Maybe our kids will find out. But I think we're gonna know. Yeah, Ghost of the Machine. Thanks. You're saying, Music Lover, that's an interesting name choice, right? Ghost X. Yeah, we all know about Ghost of the Machine. That's crazy. That is nuts that we've heard about that stuff. Yeah, she's saying, oh yeah, super cool tech. Still kind of scary that it exists. Yeah. So I'm just wondering, did some of these guys in Venezuela see some of these things, hear these things go by at night? Because we do all of our operations in the dark. That's the advantage, because we can see at night. We have all the equipment, all the glass to see at nighttime. So it's better for, the advantage for the Americans to just fight at night versus, some of these smaller countries that don't have this equipment. They have no idea there might be somebody standing right next to them. You can't see it. Some of these machines, boy, my cousin was in Iraq and he told me this stuff back then in the 90s of the Apaches, the helicopters that can go to silent mode and come up over a berm or come up over a building or something, and people on the ground would not know this giant Apache is right behind them. He said it's crazy. I've seen videos that came back in the 90s, in the 2000s. I've seen some video of stuff that I cannot believe that can exist, but it does. It's crazy, you guys. Yeah. Music Lover says the low tech will often have the disadvantage until the high tech is disabled. Yeah, that's what it is. And see, disabling high tech probably wouldn't be that tough, because think about it. What if somebody just turns off the switch? You have to know where the switch, the on-off switch is. But there could be one mainframe off switch. If there is one certain mainframe off switch somewhere that controls all the rest of these things, yeah, that could be, in theory, could be something easy, but you got to know where that switch is at. And there will be patriots and people who are, have people, Americans in mind that might be able to turn off that switch. So, boy, it seems like this stuff, iRobot and all these things just is every day is getting closer and closer to reality for us. All right, going over to this connected persons thing that I have. Do you guys find it weird or strange or odd that if you're going back to the Charlie Kirk stuff, and it's now coming out that a lot of the people that are connected that were his friends and that were part of TPUSA and still are, and now, have advanced up and, new ownership or new, it's being run by new positions, new hirees, new, and existing. But it's crazy that so many people, and I've been paying attention to some of this stuff lately, that so many people behind the scenes of that TPUSA and all that have adopted foreign children. How many people in your life do you know that have adopted kids? Okay, I do know a handful, but they don't know each other. They're not really connected. They're just, one's a family member, one's some friends that adopted them here and there. But this is kind of strange because there's so many from TPUSA, all one organization, all around the same age, all friends with each other, and they've all adopted, or not all, but a lot of them have adopted little children, kids from foreign countries. It seems kind of odd, kind of strange to me. Yeah, it does. Music Lover says, I'm leaning towards Charlie Kirk was the mark. I think he was quite genuine. I do too. I think he woke up to some things. If anybody's listening to what Candace is trying to put forward, she's finding out a lot of things because a lot of people are giving her tips. Patriot of Flight over here on Pill.net says a few of the SCOTUS have the same. Yeah, they do. Supreme Court. People on Supreme Court. You're talking about, what's her name? Amy Coney Barrett. I just, I'm disappointed with her. But we were warned. Remember, our friend Chrisanne Hall warned us about her, that she shouldn't be in there. But anyway, yeah. What is it with people adopting? Another thing, too, to throw in the mix is that these same people who are adopting these kids, they also have military connections. Whether they were military once or their fathers are military. There's something there that we're not seeing that is not 100% on the up and up, is what I'm saying. So I don't know. It's another thing they're connected to, you guys. Little kids, military, and quote mass shootings. It's crazy that the same people from the TPUSA stuff have connections to these three things, And that's all we know, so far that they're connected with. What the heck is going on over there? It's wild. It's wild to think about. In the term mass shooting, when that was brought up or invented or whatever that was, it's been changed from its original iteration. It used to be X amount of people equals a mass shooting. But I know that a lot of that was changed under the Obama years, right? I believe the last iteration change was probably still with Obama, in the Obama years. And I believe the term for what qualifies as mass shooting means 3 people, including the shooter themselves. They call that mass now. So you could have 2 people and the shooter, right? And they call that stuff mass. In the term school shooting, that can mean a lot of things too. That can mean that there was some robbery on a weekend at a store that's kind of near a school, and a guy, robbed the place with a gun or shot somebody with a gun, or there was a shootout with some, gangbangers or whatever. That falls under the term of school shooting too. It's crazy because they need the numbers to fall in line to where they want to take the narrative. Okay, that's all FBI stuff. That all came out years ago. So let's not allow them to play word games and mind tricks with us, because they're really good at it and they know what they're doing, changing definitions and to instill fear and anxiety. Yeah, thank you, Music Lover. Exactly what that is. It's crazy. So the mass shootings and school shootings and all these things, the terminology, and we were warned about this stuff. I've got my book around here, my Bill Cooper book. I'm looking for it. I don't know where is it at now? I know I was reading it. Talking about this was going to happen. He warned us in the 90s about this is what's coming. The Behold a Pale Horse. He said this is what's coming. They're gonna invent this whole school shooting narrative and mass shooting, all this stuff, in order to go after your rights. And they're gonna use the media with the mind manipulation of words and all these things. Yeah, that was all to come. I'm looking for it right now. Hang on. I found it. So here's one of them. This is Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars. This is one of them right here. And the other one is... sorry about that, you guys. Behold a Pale Horse right here. So this is the Bill Cooper book. And, his videos are all over the place on social media right now. And they have been all over TikTok, all over Instagram, everywhere. There's just a lot of stuff. But yeah, it comes up talking about, look at this, secret societies and New World Order. He talks about all these things about how they're going to use in the future. Now, this is back in the 90s, how they're going to use this stuff. Talks about the Prozac drugs and all this stuff, how they're going to have kids in school that are going to have to go after people, and they're going to make this a big event using these techniques. They're all handed down through the whole military industrial complex kind of stuff. Stuff that you don't vote for, right? Things that just happen. I think we're seeing a lot of that happening right now. They took him out. Yeah, they took him out in his front yard. Back in 91, 93, something like that. It's wild. It's crazy. But if you get a chance to check that out, go check that out. Find Behold a Pale Horse, William Cooper. All right. Let me see here. I'm just checking over the chats right now. Hopefully everybody's doing good. And with this weather, we ain't seen nothing yet, right? It's nothing yet. It's January. And for us right here, it's just nonstop. So it's still snowing out there, even a little bit harder now than it was earlier. All right. So let's get into our winter storm prep guide. All right. And this is going to, and we're going to take this to the end of the show right here. And it's not going to be too long, but I do want to read a few things. I have a friend, family friends down there in Tennessee, and we're close with them. And I don't know if Genjo, are you watching? Are you on somewhere in one of these chat rooms? If you are, just say hi or something. And because I've been in contact with Genjo and what's going on down there. They're in Tennessee, and they're preparing for the storm. And basically, what this storm is, it's a big system, you guys. It's a really big system. And for now, we'll leave. If whether this is a natural occurrence or this was enhanced or being enhanced or whatever it is, by the tools that they have, right? We'll just leave it as open-ended on that point. This is going to be more of what we can do to help ready yourselves for what's coming. So if you guys are in the South, I know a lot of you guys, listeners out, are going to be affected by what's coming. I even saw earlier, I said something, or it was Hicktown. She said something about, yeah, you're getting all your preps ready for the storm today. Good, smart. So let's get into that. Now, there is I'm into this text or email subscription, and this is from Seth Holhouse, and he does a lot of this prep kind of stuff, but I'm going to read his latest writing here, but I'm going to add a lot of my own stuff to it too, because you guys have heard us talk about this stuff before. This is just another reminder, and I figured, what, it's Thursday. We have the storm rolling in on Friday. I have a radar pulled up right now, a national radar that maybe I'll let you guys see it here. If I can get on the screen looking halfway decent. So I've got the radar going, and yeah, it looks kind of crazy. Let me see if I can show you guys real quick. So there's this radar right there, right? This looks like it's real time. It was 8:50. So let me refresh. Go ahead and refresh this thing, and let's have a look at the radar again together. So this is refreshing it for. Come on now, refresh. Look, it's trying. There it is, right there. All right, so we're at 10:20 a.m. So this is about 20 minutes ago, and I'll just put this in motion so we can kind of see and look. Okay, right there. So it looks like this whole thing is going to be coming together in the East Coast. There's a northern system and there's that southern system, and they're all headed east, northeast. And they're going to come together, and it's going to be crazy. What's going on, Wenjo? I see you in there. So, yeah, that is all coming together. And as it gets together, it looks like the Northeast is going to get hit hard when those two systems come together, the one from the north and one from the south. So as it goes through, we're getting the light snow right now, but you guys down south are going to get the cold snow followed by some ice. So it's going to be really rough for everybody, I believe. So, what the heck that is? Close that. So that's what we're looking forward to. So let's get into what I want to talk about as far as what's going to help you guys out. And I'll come back to that in just a little bit. So they're calling it a historic storm, right? Historic winter storm. I don't know if they named it or not, but it's not just a cold snap, right? It's the kind of storm that's going to break regions that are not built for winter, like you guys down there in the south. It's going to get crazy. What's going on, Angela? She's a friend who's a lineman, got called in to go in North Carolina. Yeah, I've got some lineman friends too, and they're going to be headed down. Big money they make. They make big money on doing these trips, but people are going to need help. So most people will, or many people will lose power. Some will lose heat for days, and some people are just going to end up dying. That's how it goes. Ms. Melody says Virginia is expecting an ice storm. Yeah, it's going to be mixed with everything, you guys. So that's what's so dangerous about this stuff, Just let's get ready for it. Some people are listen ahead of the storm. Some people, it happens every time. There's going to be a carbon monoxide deaths somewhere. I'm sure we'll end up seeing about that. There's going to be some sort of a silly accident where people are going to end up hurting themselves and getting themselves in trouble within their own homes. And I'm trying to help, if we can, help some of you guys. So what a storm like this can do These storms can bring heavy snow to areas that can't handle it. And usually the snowstorms down there, because it's a little bit warmer, the ground is warm, those warmer snowfalls are like fluffy, right? Fluffy until they hit the ground. Everything gets heavy, really heavy. Up here, when we get those lighter snowfalls like we've been having the last few days, they stay fluffy. You can almost blow them away with the backpack blower. Yeah, Wenjo, I said, I addressed that earlier. Do I think this is man-made weather? It could be. It could very well be. But we're not going to go into that on this episode. We're just going to go into helping people. Yes, it probably has some aspect to being man-made stuff with the equipment they have. But let's just keep going to be ready for it. So it looks like some people are talking about 18 plus inches of snowfall. In 2 inches, it's going to knock out people traveling. Now, I'm talking middle of the United States. I'm talking, say, Tennessee, because I've been there. I have friends there. And, even further south, Mississippi. It's going to trap people in their homes. I'm already getting reports. I'm going to read some of this stuff from, actually, Jenjo. Because Jenjo, she's out there, and we're talking about this stuff. She's been texting me. I've been texting. She's letting us know what's going on with her family. Basically, I've got pictures of empty racks. She says someone online mentioned that meteorologists should only get paid if their forecasts were correct. Someone else responded saying they're all starving. They should all starve. But she's showing me pictures of the local stores and everything. All the racks, they're gone. They have no milk. They have a little bit of eggnog and some oat milk, but nobody wants that crap. I mean, I'll take the eggnog, but look at the shelves. They're empty. Empty shelves, empty freezers. So people are panicking. This is Tennessee, in around the Nashville area. In Oxford, Mississippi, which is a couple hours south, it's south of the where she's at. They are also preparing. The college towns, they're preparing for what's coming. They don't know if they're going to be able to, have, if they lose power. Yeah, they have some generators, but some people just have the generator maintenance, and they're not ready for this stuff because they haven't used them in a long time, right? So let's keep going. Roads are going to shut down. People will be trapped in their homes. Emergency responses, they're going to slow down. Roof collapses, because a lot of these roofs down there, they could happen if we end up with enough snow down there and it's heavy and wet enough, it could collapse these roofs. Especially the more, the flatter ones, the ones that are sloped pretty strong or, at high angles, they'll be all right. But what's worse is the ice that's coming afterwards. You're going to get all the snow on top of these places that aren't used to it, especially some of these trees that are not strong enough. I mean, you can think about the oaks up here up in the north that it takes a lot to bring down an oak tree or limbs, but it happens. We already have some down. You just turn some of this snow into ice. These things get heavy and they snap. Okay, just ask me how I know. I got a lot of cleanup this spring to do. The ice, just think about it. Just 1 inch of ice can snap trees like toothpicks. It can pull down power lines. That's where the biggest issue is. The power lines. When trees go down on top of power lines, that means you are going to be out. All right. It's going to make every surface slippery. Black ice matters big time, especially down south there. 3 inches of ice, it can cripple the entire area, the region. I mean, nobody's going to want to get out and drive. I mean, you're going to have emergency response. You're going to have people in their tractors. Yeah, that's another thing Jenjo told me, that people will jump out in their John Deere tractors and whatever tractors they have around the property, and they get out and try to get places opened up. But that's also dangerous too. Let me see. She says that our streets are getting sprayed with brine right now. Yeah, so they're spraying the streets with brine because they really don't have salt down there. They don't have salt teams like they do up here in Detroit. All right. So everything that's being done down there, she says, is hired out. It's privately because their governments they don't have the stuff. They might have 8 plows for the entire county, she says. Yeah, for Williamson County has only 8 plows, and they don't run salt and stuff. So, sand does work, but they got to have sand spreaders and the equipment to do it. Let's keep going. Most southern unprepared areas do not have enough plows, salt. They don't have winter grid power. Power grids aren't ready for winter. A lot of these homes don't have fireplaces or backup heat. The pipes, they're not insulated like they are up here. So when it goes to that cold stuff that they're gonna get, these pipes might freeze and burst. So you got to have ways to keep that stuff heated up. And I'll give you some of the hints that I can help you with, because we've all dealt with this kind of stuff, right? I like what's going on in the chat, you guys. I'm seeing you guys. Look, it's just me today, so it's hard for me to put them up on chats. So you guys keep doing what you're doing, because the chat room's having a good time with it. Furnaces can stop working when the power goes out. They will stop working when the power goes out. The heat pumps will fail. Pipes going to freeze and burst. Water, I think that's the most important thing, is water. Cell towers, they can go down. You're going to feel like you're all on your own, but you're not. Okay. Because listen, this talk is going to help, and your neighbors. All right. That's going to help too. People are going to die from this stuff. It's going to be crazy. It's not, look, we're not trying to scare you or anything. It's just what happens with these storms all the time. It's reality. People die from hypothermia from sitting in their houses and not moving. The carbon monoxide poisoning. All right. They'll die in car accidents because they end up in, taking a risk and putting themselves in a spot they shouldn't be, and look out, so cold kills quietly. Yes. And so does carbon monoxide, and so does fire. So what should you guys do? Best thing you can do right now, you might have a day or two to prepare for this stuff. The big stores are all going to be hit first. Walmart, Lowe's, Home Depot, Tractor Supply, all those stores will probably be selling out or out now. Generators could be gone. Space heaters, propane heaters, firewood, snow shovels, rock salt, all that stuff is probably already gone. If you're any of the preparation minded like we are here, you already have that stuff anyway. So I'm not running around looking for this stuff, because I already have it all. I've had it all for years. Okay. I'm hoping that a lot of you guys have already had that stuff too. Mountain mentality. People up in the mountains, they pretty much have all this stuff anyways. It's the ones that, hey, what's going on, Shirley? that don't have this stuff that are going to have some issues. All right. So most people are thinking the same way. They're trying to buy all the same stuff, but you got to think a little differently. Don't panic if those things are gone, because there are options that many people won't think of. All right. So what to buy that other people won't think of? While everybody's out there fighting over generators, you might be able to find this kind of stuff, camping gear. So if you've ever been camping, you go up north or whatever it is, you still have some of your camping gear. That stuff is going to come in handy. Canvas or nylon tents. A lot of people don't think about this stuff for storms. All right. You might have to camp out in your home, but you got to do it smart and you got to do it safe. Thick sleeping bags rated for cold weather. Yep. Camping stoves and those, fuel canisters. Even those ones for, the buffet tables where you guys, put those, the sterno burners underneath. I'm looking at some over there right now in my storage area. Those things are going to come in handy too. Let me see here. Mylar emergency blankets. Yep. Those silver shiny ones. I've got some of those. They're in my truck. Hand warmers, foot warmers, all the stuff that you should always have. Headlamps, flashlights, little table lamps. Make sure everything is charged right now too. Things that get overlooked also are candles. Many of them, plain unscented candles. Clay pots, like those little terracotta pots. Those things help in small rooms. You can light a candle up underneath them, and you get a little heat from those things. In a small room, small situation, those things work. I've done it. Wool. Make sure you guys get some wool blankets and wool stove or socks, socks, blankets. Those things help. I'm wearing some wool socks right now because I'm going to be out plowing some more snow when I'm done with the show. Wool socks are the best. I love them. Heavy plastic sheeting and bubble wrap, duct tape, heavy trash bags, all that stuff can come in handy. Pool noodles. You cut them long ways and stick them on your pipes. Okay, that helps. What also helps with cold pipes is a simple fan. Like there is a spot in my garage up at the house that if I don't, if I don't keep air moving now or warm, there's like a 90-degree pipe that comes in from our well. If I don't keep that spot right there warm, it'll freeze. It's done it to us, I think, twice in the last 20 years, maybe 3 times. But what's amazing is you can take a little fan, just a fan that you would use in the summertime, and get air moving in an area like that garage. And if there's just air moving around that pipe, it won't freeze because it's keeping just a little bit warmer air in there. Now, what I've done in the last few years is I have a little space heater in there that I plug in, and I keep it above 40 degrees in that area. And so we haven't had issues with that anywhere. But if I forget to do it, it could go down in the 30s and get cold in that spot. But that particular spot coming in, that's what you have to look for, and you got to pay attention to those little spots. Even though the room itself could be decently warm, that little corner spot, if the air is not moving around it, it can get cold and freeze in there. That's why those little fans always help. So it's always good to have some moving air in a room because it's cycling. You might not think it makes a difference, but it does. Cycling air, even just room temperature air, helps pipes from stop freezing. Let me see. Wenjo's talking about fuel. Yeah, we're gonna get to the fuel. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of you guys talking about wood stoves. All right, let's keep rolling. You guys are doing good here. Let's see. Battery powered or hand crank radio. Yep, those things are good because you got to have some communications when things go down. I've got a bunch of different kinds, the little handheld ones. I got the Etox or Etons. I have those. Kitty litter. Those things are great for traction. I have kitty litter bags in my shop. There's some up at the house. I keep extra kitty litter around for oil spills, right? In the shop when we're doing oil changes and things like that. So we keep a lot of cat litter around just for things like that, and it works really great on those slippery surfaces. Water jugs and containers. Yes, I've got a lot of that stuff. Cash. Think about cash, you guys. You want to use cash because a lot of this stuff, if you're going to lose power, they might not be able to use your credit cards and ATMs and stuff like that. So use cash. Get some cash out. All right. A lot of different denominations. Stay more in the 10s, 20s, 5s, and 1s. You probably don't have to worry about the 50s and all that stuff. Yeah, Patriot of Flight over here says some folk don't know how to handle frostbite. Yeah. Or how to prevent it. Yeah. No, they get killed just before or after 9/11 or 911. Yeah. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of you guys are good stuff in the chats. All right, let's keep going. So yeah, camping gear. If you have camping gear laying around, you might want to open it up today and check it out and say, hey, maybe we can use this. It's going to get cold. So here's a complete supply checklist. We're going to get over this right now. This is the stuff that you want to buy today or have today because tomorrow it might be a little too late. So try to plan for this today. And the best thing to do is if you have, a husband and a wife or whatever and kids, if you have a chance to split up and go get this stuff, do it instead of just one person trying to go get it. Water is the most critical thing. 1 gallon per person per day, minimum. All right. Plan for 7 to 10 days minimum because you never know how long it's going to take to get this stuff back on. Bathtubs, you can fill your bathtubs and your sinks just before the storm hits. You can fill every container you have, any empty jug, milk jug, whatever it is. Remember, this is just short-term stuff. We're not talking 3 months or whatever. We're just talking for the next, maybe a week. All right. This is great stuff to do. Freeze some containers. Freeze some of the containers of water if you can, because those will also help. That way you can store more. You can just put those outside and just keep them out of the sun. Now, food. You want to get non-perishable items that don't need to be cooked. Peanut butter, crackers, protein bars, canned stuff. Make sure you have a manual can opener. All right. Remember the old school can openers? Make sure you have one of those. High calorie foods. Cause obviously when it's cold out, your body's going to be burning more calories. If you're out trying to do stuff around the yard, to clean up. Heating supplies, again, candles, sternos, those camping fuel things, whatever you can find. You see that right behind me? Look here. You see that Coleman lantern right there? I have a ton of those things. I love Coleman stuff, old Coleman equipment. That's a good thing for light, and that thing throws off so much heat, but you don't want to be in an enclosed room with that going, because that puts the fumes in. That's great for light if you're going to need to go outside or whatever it is, or out in the garage or whatever. You just don't want to burn something like that indoors. But those are great for a little heat source if you have it, like a garage thing, where you have some open area where you can, get some ventilation. Matches and lighters. Yes, you don't need to be out there striking on a flint and some steel. All right, you get just matches and lighters. You should always have those anyway. Firewood, if you have a fireplace, very smart. You can also have a fire outside, right? You can also go out there to warm up. If very, very last step emergency situation, build a fire outside. Even if you're cold, go out there, and that will stop you from getting the frostbite. All right. You ever been outside? We do this every winter. Build a fire on the ice when we're ice fishing. Why? Because it's warm and it's fun. And, you get cold fingers and cold feet or whatever. Some people do. I mean, if we're dressed properly in our boots, we don't get cold feet, but our hands, they can always get tingly, especially because we're always taking our gloves off and getting them wet in the water. So we have a fire, a real wood fire on ice, and we'll just sit around it and have a good time. Just think of it like that. Lights, make sure you have all the flashlights, extra batteries, headlamps, powered lamps, candles, generators. Do you guys have generators? I have this my EcoFlow solar generator. I don't know if you guys have any kind of, a lot of companies out there make them, but this thing, it's great. You can charge all your phones, all the phones. You can charge your laptops, all this stuff with it. Speaking of power, before we lose power, you should get in there and charge up all your stuff. Okay, charge everything. Charge it. Put all the phones, all the laptops, all your tablets. Get them on chargers now. Power banks. You have all those little power banks. I keep 2 in my truck. One's a little solar power one, and one is one of those little stick things that you just plug a phone or whatever in. Make sure all that's charged up. Get everything charged up today. Car phone chargers. Make sure you have everything. Extra batteries for everything. Just put it all on the table. Take a look at everything and get everything charged up. Take your time, do it slowly, have some music going, have a candle going in the background, make some coffee or tea, whatever it is, and just enjoy doing this, getting it all together. Let's get into medical a little bit. Just basic first aid kits. 7-day supply of, whatever medications that you are on or need or whatever, vitamins. That's all I take is vitamins, all right? A thermometer. Yeah, you always have a thermometer. So you can take your temperature if somebody in the house gets sick or whatever. So you know where you're at. Sometimes you feel like you're having a fever, but you check it and you don't, right? Basic pain relievers, stuff like that. Sanitation, baby wipes, toilet paper, Kleenex, plastic bags and ties, zip ties, bleach, hand sanitizer. I don't like hand sanitizer. I'll use it only on certain occasions. But I'm more of a soap kind of guy, but bleach to help clean things up. Let's see here. I'm just checking the chats. Yeah, you guys are doing good out there. Looks like Hicktown says, yep, I refuse to have an electric stove. Yeah, I don't. I have a gas stove, and I love it. Let's see. Bleach, sanitizer. Oh, yeah. Fuel. Fill all your tanks. I would recommend this today. Today, I would go out there and fill your tanks. Even if you're half tanks, or fill them. Just keep everything topped off, because you don't know if you're ever going to run out locally of fuel. So get out there. Even if you have a half tank, just top off your fuel today. All right. I do that with my truck. If I'm plowing, I've been doing that every day, because the last few days I've been plowing like crazy. And so when I go by a certain station that, I get diesel fuel and I top it off with diesel fuel, just because I don't want that space. When it gets, especially coming up now, we're getting ready to go into some negative temperatures tomorrow. We're going to be at 10 below and I think 12 below over the weekend. So that space, that empty space in your fuel tank, it can condensation. and for a diesel truck, I don't want condensation. I have a water separator in the line, but I'm just trying to, eliminate any sort of air in that tank. So I like to keep it topped off as much as I can. You guys should do that too. Don't let your tanks get empty. That condensation and the cold temperatures with the, built up water inside the tank, not good. You fill that up. All right, go fill it up. Cash, like I said earlier, get small bills. Something very, quick and easy, because, you might have to buy something and forget about the change. Go straight to, $5, $10, whatever it is. And do that. Important documents, just in case, you never know, stick them in a Ziploc or some sort of waterproof bag. You just never know in case of things. Pet food and supplies. Make sure your animals have some stuff to eat. All right. Don't forget about them. And things to look after them. Now, here's some things to do before the storm. All right. Do this now, and don't wait for it. As the storm is getting ready to approach, make sure you fill your bathtubs. We went over that. In your containers with water, fill all that stuff. If you know about an issue with one of your pipes that freezes, right? Just let it drip overnight or during the day, whatever it is. Just open it up and just let it drip if you're able to get water. Okay. Don't let it thaw, or don't let it freeze. Make sure it stays thawed and just let it drip. It's okay. Open the cabinet doors underneath your sinks. Let that warm air get in there to the pipes. Like I was saying, those little fans help. If you know somewhere in the house where you have a bad spot, to concentrate on a little bad spot and make sure it doesn't freeze up on you. Throw the insulated, exposed pipes, run around the house right now and check it out so that where it's at. Just in case something bursts in the middle of the night and you start hearing water. That happened to us on Christmas Eve a couple years ago. There was a bad spot that's gone now. I fixed that, but that was kind of a running around the house in your underwear, looking for trying to remember where the main shutoff is. Know where that's at. Seal the windows and doors with plastic, bubble wrap, plastic, anything, whatever it is. Curtains, bring the curtains closed. Close off the unused rooms. That helps keep the air in the central, the warmer air in a certain spot. Pick a central room for your quote survival room. That's important too. You might have to set up a little tent or a little something inside of a room where everybody can get into that can hold the heat. All right. That for the young kids, that's fun. They would love that. Right. We all built those little forts when we were young. Think about doing that. That help with mood and all that stuff. Plus heat. You got to have some heat in there. Pick or clear the gutters and bring in your outdoor furniture. It depends. Clearing the gutters, yes. I would clear the top of those gutters off. You don't have to go all the way up onto your shingles, but if you can just reach the gutters, kind of where sometimes snow will hang over the gutter and start creating icicles. That's what you want to avoid. Take a shovel or whatever you have and just pull the snow off the top of the gutters, just the top of you don't have to go all the way up on the shingles. Don't do that. Just so it doesn't overhang your gutters. Okay. That will help stop a lot of that stuff. In those rooms that are closed off, you might want to turn off your registers depending on the kind of heat you have. Now I have a boiler system, so my registers, they'll run all over the place. You know what I mean? So as long as that pump is running and I have a flame underneath the water there, it's heating up the whole house. I also have a fireplace for backup. We'll turn that on if we have to. But when power goes out here, I'm running generators. We'll get to that. Again, charge every electronic device you own, fill the car, set your fridge and freezer to the coldest temps. That way, if you can get the temperatures up and you lose power, it's just a little bit colder. Might help it just a little bit. Freeze containers of water as ice blocks if power fails. That's what I was saying earlier about if you have frozen, you can put them outside. It's probably going to freeze out there anyway, right? I'll put them out there. Talking about people now, call your elderly family and neighbors today. Invite them to stay with you or get close as they can to you. Think about this. If you get a call in the middle of the night and that means you have to get in your vehicle and go somewhere else. to help somebody, would you rather have them come to your house first? That way it avoids you going out in the middle of the night. You might not get along. You might not whatever, butt heads and all that stuff. But this is about keeping you safe and keeping you going. I would rather you have you now prepare for that. And instead of going out in the middle of the night when, you get one of those phone calls in the middle of the night and say, hey, I need help. It might have been smarter to bring them to your house. So think about that. If they refuse, make a plan to check on them then. Tell someone outside the affected area of what you're doing. I would let other people know of, hey, I plan on doing this if this happens. Just in case, because if we lose communications with people, having some sort of a pre-known plan helps think of, where you might be, where, hey, they're not home and they're not at this person's house. So they might be en route. So somewhere, right? Let's go check that route that they take. They might be stranded somewhere, stuff like that. Just let people know what you're doing is what I'm saying. Hang on. I'm getting a bunch of text messages right now. People walking around in the stores buying stuff right now. This is in Tennessee again. I just paid $10 for a case of water. Yeah. Yep. For sure. Yeah. That's why we have stuff ahead of time. It helps. Prepare your car, even if you don't plan to drive. That's a smart one too. Unless you're already prepared and you stay prepared, like we do here with the trucks. If you're leaving the house, turn off the main water valve. See, now we're getting somewhere where this would take you, if you're going to leave your house and you're going somewhere else, turning off the main water valve is going to help, because if you're not there to look after pipes, if they break in the house, well, if your valve is on and you get a pipe burst and you're gone, that house is going to fill up. So if you plan on leaving, get your temperature down to 55 degrees to the lowest setting of your thermostat, turn the water heater, your main off. You can pour antifreeze into your drains so they don't pop and burst. But that's if you're going to leave and stay somewhere else. Unplug all your appliances and electronics. Yeah. If you're going to leave. Okay. If you're going to stick around, you're not going to do all that stuff. So, let me check the chats real quickly here. Hicktown Honey says, yeah, we wait a while to turn. Yeah, I do too, to turn on the generator. Yeah, I don't turn it on right away. We'll run with, I'm always thinking, hey, if the power goes out, we're going to have people out there working on the utilities. But I'm always paying attention to the conditions too. If the road conditions are bad or whatever, sometimes I might even jump in the truck and just take a drive around town to see what's happening. If I see some people working or doing whatever, I know that they're putting attention on our grid. If not, if I don't see anything and people are just panicky, I'll just kind of shut all that down and go turn the generator on for a while. Now, I just won't sit and let it run necessarily. I'll turn it on for a while, make sure everything's staying cool. The freezers, making sure all the meat's staying cold and frozen. But you don't have to let that stuff run all the time. Now, wintertime poses a different threat because you got to have water. I don't want the water freezing up. We don't want the house getting too cold. So the boiler's got to stay running, your furnace. So yeah, generators is going to be your friend. Make sure you have oil and filters. All right. That's important. What to do during the storm? You stay inside. Do not drive unless it's life or death. Conserve heat. Music Lover says, my aunt and uncle were traveling and their Nebraska home had a pipe burst. Then the whole house flooded and froze. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like if you're going to leave, prevent that. Turn off the power or turn off the water so that doesn't happen. Close the doors to unused rooms. We said that. Yeah, wear layers. That's so important. Now, when I'm used to dressing in layers when I'm out in the plow truck. You see right now, just a t-shirt and a flannel here, but I'm in 4 layers up top and usually 1 layer down below my legs. I have heavy denim lined pants that I wear, and I wear the same ones that ice fishing, but nothing can get through these pants. Wool socks and usually rubber boots. I do have a spare of leather boots in there too, but I don't like putting leather into wet situations. But the way that I layer stuff, that's the best. I look, 2 layers. Sometimes one, I'll go to t-shirt and in the truck because that's always full blast. So what I suggest, t-shirt, overshirt, whether it's a flannel, like a button up. Over that, I'll go with a hooded jacket, like a light jacket. And then over top of that, I'll go with the big heavy stuff. This is one of my Duluth, or I don't know what this is. This, the canvas, the duck looking stuff, almost like Carhartt stuff. That would be my final, but I'll do four layers, and the wind doesn't get up into you, and tuck that inner one in into your pants. Right. All right, let's go. Let's see here. Share body heat, use blankets and sleeping bags, keep the curtains and blind closed at night, open them during the day for sunny days for passive heat. Yeah. That sun, if there's any bits of sun, even on a cloudy day, you'll get that thermal sun will come through those windows. So you want to have that open. You can also charge those, your rechargeable cells, for the battery backups. Put those in the windowsills. Let them get that sunlight. Again, even if it's coming through clouds, it helps. It works. Ask me how I know. Conserve resources. Use light sparingly. Preserve phone battery. Only use phone for emergencies. Eat regularly to maintain body heat. Drink water, even if you're not thirsty. Yeah, you got to stay hydrated. Once you know you're hydrated, it might be too late, and then you might have to go to the hospital. You don't want that. Do light exercises to generate warmth. Yeah, I'd say lunges or squats right there in the living room, push-ups, stuff like that. Use phone. Let me see. There was one I want to talk about. Eat regular to maintain body heat, or you can do a little exercise too. You can put bread bags over your socks before putting your boots and shoes on. Yeah. Keep moisture away from your feet. I did that as a kid. Yeah, we used to do that with our moon boots. Still come in all sweaty and everything. If you're in a sleeping bag, don't breathe down into it. You'll add a bunch of moisture, which can decrease the effectiveness of the sleeping bag. Oh, yeah. That's a good one, music. I've done that up north when we were hunting. It was November, I don't know, back in the 80s. And we were in a tent. There was a foot of snow at least on the ground, and we were out in there. And I started breathing into my sleeping blanket. I was probably 14, 15, 13, somewhere in there. And it got wet. It got wet in there. And I remember just feeling all wet on my chest and all around. I was like, what is this? So I just opened it up, and we had a heater going in there. So it dried it up. But, I was having such a great time. It didn't really matter. But you don't want that. You don't want that. Let's see here. Stay informed. Listen to the radio station for updates. Yes, you always want to get information as much as you can. Hopefully you have one that's, the crank kind of ones, or batteries. Batteries are important. Check your phone briefly for emergency alerts. I also have a ham radio. I got a ham radio with me every day. I turn that on. I can hear, I can tune it to a lot of local things, which is what you want to do if you have a ham radio. I tune it to a lot of local things, so I know what's going on at local airports, schools, with the buses, fire departments. It's tough with police, and because their stuff it's all encrypted and coded, whatever. You can't get it. But there's enough information running around on ham that you can get a lot of information from. I love ham radios. I'll probably do that today. I'll put on my long antenna and turn it on, just listen to it as I'm plowing snow. Because, we're not going to be up here. We're not going to be in that crazy storm, but we have winter. That's crazy the whole time. So this is mainly for you guys down south. So what to do after a storm? Don't rush out into it, right? The danger is not over, because what's going to happen is, the hazards after the storm. There'll be probably some down power lines. They can be buried in the snow. You might not know it. Falling trees and branches. Yeah, they can fall hours or days later after the snow goes through. Sometimes we'll listen, just hear it outside. You can hear them popping and breaking and branches falling all around here. One happened, a big branch fell on my old chicken coop. when was that? In the fall. Luckily, it didn't break it all the way through, but it did mess up some stuff. And, that coop is no longer here, but it's not good. And I'm sure those chickens didn't like it. But yeah, those things, man, those big ones, they'll come down and knock some stuff all around. Ice is going to be everywhere. Black ice matters. Oh, the wind just picked up over here. So we're windy again. Man, we're windy here. Roof collapse from snow and ice weight. As the stuff starts melting and freezing and melting and freezing, it might not all leave right away. It might just get heavier and heavier up there. Flooding from burst pipes. Yeah. When do you venture out? Watch for hanging ice branches or no, this is when you do venture out. Watch for stuff. Let me see right now. Wenjo says, I'm on my knees for all you now. May our Abba bless, protect, and defend you all. Thank you. Yes, thank you. Amen to that. So when you do go outside, watch for hanging ice and branches overhead. Assume that all down wires are live and deadly, okay? Don't ever walk up or near a wire. Don't touch a fence anywhere because you don't know what, people get shocked that way too. Don't be touching stuff when you go outside because you never know what might be touching something else. Marie Locke, what's going on? Very windy here by Lake St. Clair. Yeah, you're not too far from where I'm at right now. So yeah, we've been windy here for days, just blowing this snow all around, blizzard kind of stuff. Check on your neighbors. Walk carefully because ice is deceptive when you're checking on your neighbors. Like I keep saying, black ice does matter. Report problems immediately. If you have down power lines, stay away and call utilities. Just let them know. They're going to be overwhelmed, but get that stuff on record, okay? Make sure they get it on their books. Gas leaks. Those are very dangerous. Leave immediately, all right? And call from the outside. If you smell gas somewhere, do not turn switches on and all that either. Every time you turn on a light switch, it creates there's a little spark in there. And if you have a gas leak going, don't do anything. Just get out. If you can get outside, turn the gas off. That's what I would do. Know where your gas meter is too. Know where your gas meter is and know how to turn that lever. So keep some channel locks. Keep maybe a little hammer because sometimes it gets stuck. But know where your water shut off is and know where your gas line shut off is. You might have to do that. Okay, I've done that before to turn off the gas line. Then you can address the issue in the house. Open up all the windows, let the gas out, and then close everything, get it warm again. Let's see here. Recovery. Boil water if advised, by authorities. Boil water, emergency stuff. Throw out spoiled food. Be careful with that. I know pretty well when meat has gone bad or not bad, but there's ways around that too. If it's cold outside, if it's freezing outside, well, some of your stuff that's in the freezer might be better outside until it's not. And then you bring it back in. Watch for animals. Animals want to eat that stuff too if they smell it. Document the damage for insurance. Yeah, take video of everything. Make sure you might even want to run around right now with your phone and just walk through each room of the house with video running just for yourself, for insurance purposes later if it needs it, and take a picture of everything and explain what's in the room. Oh, there's that TV, there's that fridge, there's this, it's this old, just document everything. Then go outside and document all that stuff too. Look at the edges of your roof, document, your windows and all that stuff. This is just for emergency in case you might need it. If not, then you can delete that later. Don't worry about what it looks like. Don't be trying to produce something. Just document. Okay. Let me see. Be patient. Repair crews are overwhelmed. Have games, right? Have games, things that you guys can do as a family, look at and build stuff, puzzles. There's everything's there. Card games and, dice games, all this stuff. So, you can have fun with all that. Let's see here. Ways to keep warm and what is dangerous. Yeah. Now we talk about this a lot. The best way to stay warm is to trap your body heat. Think like you're camping in winter. Yep. Same thing, just like I said before. There's some safe stuff. Create small sealed living spaces. Use one room, block air gaps with towels, hang blankets over the windows and doorways. Make like a little tent. All right. We said that stuff works. It works great. Put some thick sleeping bags all inside that little tent, and everybody's going to sleep in there. Your body heat's going to get trapped in the space. Even a cheap little tent makes a big difference. You know what's funny is like my chickens. You know, the coop. The inside of that coop is 5x8, 5x8, and I've never used heat in chicken coop ever. It's been 30 years, and they don't need it. When I open the door to go in there, you can tell there's a little difference. Like, hey, it's kind of cozy in here, even though it's probably still freezing, but it's so much better inside the chicken coop than it is standing a foot outside of it. It's crazy the way that works out. Again, I don't heat them, but think about the same thing in what's going on in the chicken coop with a few chickens in there in a nice bed of shavings down on the ground, and the wind can't get to them. They're happy. Well, that's going to be you in your tent inside your living room. Same thing, except a lot cleaner, right? Smell a lot better, right? So the candle and the pot method, that does work. If you got to put some tea lights inside of a candle on a metal tray, or just put some bricks around it or something that's like a terracotta pot, upside down over it. Because that little bit of thermal heat there, you know, when that pot gets hot, it puts out some heat, and it works in a small area. It does. The pot absorbs, you know, it's radiating heat is what it does. It radiates the heat through it. So it helps. It's not a room heater. It's just going to add heat right where you're at. And sometimes that's good. But be careful when you're going to burn candles in the house. Don't be setting your place on fire. Okay. So, make sure you have also a fire extinguisher laying around, and everybody knows where it's at. Should be in the kitchen somewhere. Maybe another one down by the garage or by the laundry room, whatever it is. Share body heat, huddle together, fill your water bottles with hot water and put them in the sleeping bags. That's a good trick. Also, round, smooth stones do that too. You can heat up some round stones and put them on by your feet down there. That works really good. Stay dry, because the wet clothing, yeah, it's a mess. Ask any hunter. You know, we've been sitting in tree blinds and stuff, wet feet. Oh, it's the worst. You don't want that. All right, dangerous methods, and do not use this stuff, right? Never, ever, ever use charcoal grills in the house. Keep that stuff outside. I love charcoal grill. I love grilling on charcoal. Live fire. It's the best. I love it. But don't do it in the house. Don't do it right next to a door, window, or any of that stuff. You don't want those fumes getting in. But if you need, you know, you're going to need to cook, why not cook outside? I love it, man. Even in the wintertime, I'll shovel. Like tonight, I have, there's steaks out tonight. I'm going to be cooking on the grill tonight. I don't care the temperature, whatever. I'll be running back and forth in the house, or from the house back and forth. Music Lover says, look, make sure the stones are completely dry. Wet stones can blow up in your face. Yes. Yeah, they can crack. Oh, for sure. They can crack, and fragments go anywhere. So yeah, charcoal grills, gas grills, propane grills, gas generators. Make sure all that stuff stays outside. All right. Don't even put it near a window where it can get in and get fumes inside. Fire pits, you know, if you're going to have a fire outside, make sure it stays away from the windows. You don't want that. Running the cars, again, that's just common sense, right? Don't leave a running car in a garage. Don't do that. They produce carbon monoxide. You can't see it, you can't smell it, and it will kill you in your sleep. So don't do that. For generator use, make sure it's outside at least 20 feet from the house. Again, away from windows. The exhaust port is very important. Make sure it stays away and it's doesn't get around the house and can get sucked back into your furnace system. Don't do that. All right, make sure it's away. You know, just common sense is what it really takes. If you do get the carbon monoxide, the effects for it, you know, headache, dizziness, nausea, confusion, drowsiness. If that starts happening, just throw open all the windows, walk outside for a minute until you start feeling right again. If you see somebody else that's acting that way, you might say, hey, you know, there's something ain't right. You'll know it. Dress in layers, like we talked earlier, dress in all the layers. I use, so he has right here, 3-layer base system. So your thermal underwear, wool, moisture wicking, something like that. Should be snug, but not tight. Yeah. You don't want to wear like I've done this before and it's silly. Wear something very loose and then throw something tight over top of it. That's completely the wrong way. Always start with something tight and then work your way up. Build yourself, you know, common sense. Come on. Insulation wear layer goes in the middle. Fleece, wool, sweater, traps warm air like I'm doing right now. So the tight t-shirt, then the flannel, and then I'll put a jacket with a hood on over this, just a light jacket, and then the big heavy Carhartt type over top of that with the hood, and then the gloves and all that. Outer layer shell, yeah, it's going to be windproof, waterproof jacket. I can stand in a windstorm with what I wear when I'm plowing and not get cold at all. The only thing that might get cold is my hands, because I like to, when I'm shoveling out there, I usually don't wear gloves, because I'm not shoveling for that long. I'm in and out of the truck, back and forth, but I could stand there if I do put my gloves on, because of what I wear on my feet and the rest of my body. I can stand there and for hours. It's the same thing with ice fishing. I can just stand there for hours and be fine. Walk around a little bit if you get too cold, but if you dress properly, you'll be all right. It's the wind that gets you, right? If you have some stuff on, now I do have things where wind goes right through and you can feel it. But if you have a little bit of protection of wind lined jacket or something, that wind can't get you. You won't even know. It works great. Critical areas. Head. Wear a hat. You must. We all lose most of our heat through our head. So if you get too hot, take the hat off. If you get too cold, put the hat back on. Hands. Mittens are warmer than gloves for sure. Feet. Thick wool socks. Always 2 pairs. I always keep an extra pair in the truck wherever I'm at. Because if one gets wet, sweat, whatever, I don't know. If you step in a big puddle, whatever, a neck scarf or one of those gaiter things. You want to make sure you keep, or, like this flannel that I'm wearing right now, this goes all the way up underneath my chin. But it's not comfortable. So which is why I will have some sort of a neck gaiter. There's something in my bag that has all that in there. So, pets and livestock, you guys, your animals can die in the cold because of the wind. Okay. Chickens, they're very resilient. Pets, cats and dogs, they're already domesticated. Get them, make sure they don't spend too much time out there. Now, certain dogs, they're fine out there. They love it. They love having a great time out there. My German Shepherds, when we were raising Shepherds, they loved wintertime. They would just be out there just hanging out, and they would never come in. There's certain breeds that can handle this stuff, but most of our domestic breeds, they're wimps. They're sissies, right? Dogs, cats, rabbits, birds, all that stuff that comes in that normally stays in. Just keep them in. Create warm spots for them, especially those birds. If you have a bird in a cage up by a window, get it away, because those cold drafts, it can be cold about a foot away from the window. So you want to, protect your bird is what I'm saying. Livestock, other animals, move them into garages if you have to. Again, it's the wind that's going to be messing with them. Keep them away, keep the wind from them, and they're going to be just fine. Deep bedding and straw. Yep. That works great. That's the same thing I do with the chickens. I've got a nice thick layer of bedding, pine shavings is what I use, in their coop, and it's great. They love it. And it stays warm. It stays cozy in there. But I always check on them. Always check on your stuff, because the water does freeze. I've got my water sitting on a pan that's heated and it's all outdoor rated, so it doesn't freeze up. Sometimes the edges will freeze. But I will crack it with the shovel. And I'm always checking on them as the storm comes through. The morning I go out, I clear everything, top everything off with water, food, treats, whatever. I give them, extra treats like the bug larvae and all that stuff, the worm larvae, and and leftover stuff from the house. They eat everything, right? So always check on your animals every now and then. Look to see if their paws are okay. Make sure that they're not building up ice and stuff in between their paws. Keep them keep their animals together if you can. If you have predator ones, don't let them get the other ones, but keep them up. Keep them together. Keep them huddled together. Don't let them get all wandering off, because they want to huddle anyway. Food, water, and pipes. Water storage. Store 1 gallon of person, like I said earlier, every day. Looks like we're going over a little bit of stuff. Let me see here. I'm just scrolling through, you guys. Food, pipes, water storage. Yeah, we talked about all that stuff. Travel in cars. If you get stuck. Now, look, I pull so many people out every time it snows. I have a kit in the back of my truck, second row or underneath the seat, and it's a strap. I have soft shackles. I have different chains for different purposes. I have nylon straps. I have cords. I mean, I have a lot of stuff because I'm always getting people out of my way. Because I have to go somewhere and they're in my way, I'm pulling you out of the way so I can get to my spot. And I can't tell you how many times I've pulled out. This is what I pull out most of the time. It's always in my way, you guys. FedEx trucks and Amazon vehicles, always in my way. Even last week in the driveway, the Amazon truck in my way, stuck in my yard, in the grass, down a hill. So I said, all right, dude, I'm going to run up to my barn. I'll be right back. Came back down and snatched him out with my truck. And what was it? It was one of those electric Amazon vehicles. Ugh, those things are so heavy. They as soon as they get off the road, they have horrible tires on them. He might as well just have like slicks. This thing was crazy. But anyway, I was able to get him out of my yard and get him on his way. And I'm telling you, you want to have some stuff in your car that helps you get out. Here's some things. Stay with your car. Don't try to walk in a blizzard or whiteout. Your car is more visible to rescuers than you are. Yeah, get your blinkers going. Get all your hazards running. Run engine sparingly, depending on fuel. I told you, keep your fuel full. Keep that thing topped off. It says turn heater on for 10 minutes each hour. Keep exhaust pipe clear. You don't want to be downwind if you can. Make sure that you're upwind from your exhaust, or else you'll be smelling that coming in the car. Check your exhaust pipe. You don't want to make sure, it's not packed full of snow. Crack a window if you have to eventually. Tie bright cloth to antenna or door handle. Well, I have all this other stuff that I like to put on, orange cones and all these things. Because if I get stuck in a truck, if a truck is getting, like a snowplow truck getting stuck, it means you are stuck in a bad, tight situation. Yeah, Music Lover says, yeah, they can afford. Oh, wait. I love that you look at it that way. Let me rescue you because you're in my way and I got to get going. Exactly. That's exactly. Because I have people depending on me to get them out of their location, whether it's a business or somebody's personal home, whatever. And if I pull up and there's a FedEx truck stuck in there, it's like, oh gosh. All right, let's get you out of here. I got to get to the house or the business or whatever it is. That is my attitude towards that. Now, when I'm done plowing and it's all done and all my routes are clean and clear, then I will go, and if there's people, I just pull them out because it's so easy to pull cars out when you have the right equipment. Like I said, I can pull up to something and with my soft shackle, just toss that up underneath there and drop my rope in there and just hook it on the truck. I have a clevis that I keep. So it's no worries for me to pull people out. It's quick and easy, and just go on, keep it on the road. Stop going on the ditches and stuff. That's what I'm saying, but it happens. I understand. Yeah, they can afford a fleet of Rivians, but they can't afford snow tires. Yeah, I guess. I mean, this driver, he was so frustrated. I said, dude, it's probably not your fault. Look at these tires. And he goes, that's what I'm frustrated about. They give us these fancy new, electric trucks that they can't handle the cold. They're super heavy, so they fall into everything. They get off into a little bit of grass in somebody's yard, and it's a pain. It's a nightmare with these things. We're back to emergency kits, emergency supplies for your cars and vehicles. Thick blankets. Now look, this is all stuff that I have in my truck all the time. Summer, winter, doesn't matter. Thick blanket, sleeping bag, extra winter gloves, hat, gloves, thick socks, water bottles, high-calorie snacks, flashlight batteries, phone charger, car adapter, small shovel, big shovel. I have push shovels. I have dirt shovels. I keep a bunch of stuff in my truck. Kitty litter, jumper cables, ice scraper, first aid kit, candles, matches. Yep, I've got it all. Hang on. I'm getting text messages. Hypothermia and frostbite. So hypothermia, when your body loses heat faster than it can produce it, Yeah, early signs are shivering. This is your body's alarm system. If you see somebody out there shivering and stuff, you get them warm. Confusion, slurred speech, drowsiness, fatigue, fumbling hands, stumbling. Look, I think we've all been there before. We've all kind of felt that before. So stay away from that. Severe signs, shivering stops. That's bad. A weak pulse, shallow breathing, unconsciousness. Look, that's all bad stuff. We're going to keep people away from that. So if you're in these situations and you're with a group of people, make sure you're paying attention to that. All right. If something's going on like that, you want to make sure, hey, you okay? Look at me. You all right? Make sure they move a little bit, walk around, get some water, get some food, whatever it is. What to do? Get a person to a warm place immediately. Remove the wet clothing. Warm center of body first, chest, neck, head, and groin area. Use blankets, dry clothing, and body heat. Give warm, not hot beverages. Yeah. If the person is still conscious, get just warm stuff, room temperature stuff. Do not use direct heat like a heating pad or fire stuff. You want to incorporate that heat, get it slowly built around the person. All right. Never just want to go from hot or from cold to hot. Frostbite, when the skin in tissue freeze. Most common on the fingers, toes, nose, ears, and cheeks and chin. Yeah. I've been around people that's happened to. Signs, look for numbness. Often the first sign, white, gray, or yellowish skin. Skin feels hard or waxy. And then clumsiness. Look for people that are acting that way. If you see that stuff, get them to a warm place and get them warm water again. Body heat. Don't rub the area because it causes damage to the tissue underneath there, right? Just seek medical attention. You know what I like that helps is what is it? That jelly, petroleum jelly, right? Is that what the name is? I've seen that in emergencies where people will take that. Oh, it's like Vaseline. Is that right? Yeah, Vaseline. We don't keep it around, but I've seen it before where people will there's something frozen or really cold. They'll put some of that on and keep them in a warm area. That helps for some reason. Dress in layers and stay dry. Eat regularly. Cover all exposed skin. Come inside to warm up. Check yourself. Check on other people every 30 minutes. This is what I'm saying. With the elderly and vulnerable people, especially, you want to make sure to give them a little special attention. Get them to your house if you can. It'd be better there at your house where you're going to be than for you to venture out in the middle of the night to where they're having an issue, right? If they live alone, they don't have a backup heat source. Stuff happens at their house that they're not going to be able to handle. You don't want that to become a problem for you. So think ahead of time. Don't let them be alone somewhere when this kind of stuff happens. Try to get them to where you're going to be. All right. And again, I know that can be a pain and all that stuff, but what's more of a pain? Have them there at your house to deal with this, whatever, or getting in the vehicle in the middle of the night. That'd be worse. Talking about survival. It's not a solo sport, you guys. It's going to take banding together of people. All right. Whether it's your neighbors, your family, whatever it is, whoever lives in your house, banding together is a big deal. All right. Shared body heat in one space, shared resources like food, water, and heat and light. Someone to help if emergency happens, prevent isolation, panic, and poor decisions. Emotional support. It's good to have some people around. Family and friends nearby. Call them now and make a plan. Decide which house you guys are going to meet at. If there's ever something, if you have to shelter it into place, pick somebody's house with the best heating, whether they have a fireplace or a wood stove, right? Pull your resources together and get everything to that house. That's the way you want to do it. Neighbors, knock on neighbors' doors. Call them today before something happens. Somebody near you. Exchange phone numbers, right? Write it down, actually, not just the name and click, because you got to know what the number is. Share your plan with other people. Agree to check on each other every day. All right. I would suggest every few hours, transition from dark into light, make sure you're right in that area. And then again in the morning, maybe before bed, stuff like that. Make sure everybody's still doing their thing and make sure everybody's all right. Don't be shy, be proud. Don't be proud. Examples, you don't have to buy Wait, you don't have to heat, but you don't have heat, but your neighbor has a fireplace. Ask to share their space. You have extra food, but no water. Trade with somebody. Someone elderly lives near you. Bring them into your house so they're not alone. All right. One warm house is better than 5 cold ones. This is how these communities survive in these disasters. Yep. Some other ways that you might be able to communicate with people. Texting by satellite. Cell towers might go down. You might be able to call, but you might be able to still send emergency text via the satellite system. iPhones, Androids, certain phones, they'll probably have these certain setups where you can send a text message using their satellite feed. Okay, so check that out. If your phone has one of those, if it's an Android, it probably does. If it's an iPhone, it probably does. Okay, I think that's probably the only phones that are out there. But test the features on your phone, and so you know how it works when you need it. They're satellite tips, right? Write down critical phone numbers, emergency services, local fire, police department, poison control, hospital stuff, utilities, in case you have to call and report something to them, right? Your electric, your gas, your water. If you're on a well, that's you. You pay attention to that. Family members, make sure you have certain family members, neighbors, your medical, doctors, all their phone numbers, local insurance, whatever local stuff that you depend on that you're going to need. Make sure you have their actual phone number written down, and keep that numbers by your phone in your survival room or in your car, in your wallet, somewhere where you can have access to it. Now, here's a final checklist. Are you guys ready for a final checklist? Because I am, and I got to get going. It's still very light snow now, and it's probably about time for me to get going in my plow truck. So let's recap this and end it. Before the storm hits, verify that you've done all these things. Make sure you get 1 gallon of water per person for 7 to 10 days. Start doing that now. Bathtubs and containers, get them filled up with water. You might have to use those for something. Don't use the bathtub to drink, right? Obviously. Use that bath wad. You can flush a toilet. Just have a bucket, to grab some water out of the bathtub and into the toilet. That'll work. Some people that I know, we have those those bags. What are those called? Outcast has one. It's a container. You just put it in your bathtub. What's the name of that? I forgot, you guys. But you just fill it up, and it fills up right there it's a bladder. It's a big giant bladder that fills up inside your bathtub. You just fill it with the water right there, and it just stays there. Non-perishable food, 7 to 10 days. A manual can opener. Pet food, 7 to 10 days. Identify a survival room in your house. Yep. Seal the windows, seal the doors. Blankets, sleeping bags. Get them all together. A tent setup. If you're going to use the tent method, get everything nearby. Get it in the room, basement, garage, whatever. Candles and matches. Yep. Firewood if it applies. All devices, get them charged up. All your power banks, get those all charged up. Extra batteries on hand. Flashlights, headlamps. Have a mix of both, rechargeables and battery ones. You don't want to be sitting around waiting for a rechargeable one when you can just have one that has some batteries. So have both kinds, battery and rechargeable. Battery radio, first aid kit, a 7-day medication supply. Keep aware of the signs of hypothermia, frostbite. Same thing with carbon monoxide dangers. Make sure you're just not doing something silly where you're burning fuel inside the house. Don't do that. The pipes, make sure, you keep the pipes protected so you don't lose or, freeze up and have a burst. Know your location of the water shut off, the gas shut off. All right. Check on your old people, your elderly neighbors. Make a plan, contact your neighbors again. Write all those numbers down. Make sure you guys work on a little plan of what happens during an emergency. Basements are great this time of year. Yeah, basements usually stay around the same, about 55 degrees no matter what, always. It's a good place to get some stuff done. Pets, the ones that can't make it outside, bring them in. Livestock, make sure they don't have the wind directly on them. They have plenty of food, water, and bedding. Make sure all your fuel tanks, all your vehicles, fill those things up. Any spare gas, any spare kerosene, propane, all that stuff, have it at home. I've already got all this stuff because that's the way I live. I keep all my stuff here. So I'm not scrambling around going to get this stuff. And I know a lot of you are probably the same way. You don't have to scramble around to get all these things, but some of you don't. And so you need to go do that stuff. So you got to make a decision. You're going to stay home or you're going to go with somebody else. Figure that out. Emergency kits in your car. Yep. Cash on hand. Don't forget about the small bills. Keep that. And the final thoughts are, don't be scared. Go into this thinking as you are, I don't know, camping, doing survival stuff. I mean, in the back of my mind, I keep thinking, ice fishing and camping and, snow plowing and working and stuff. So just don't be scared by this stuff. You can just think your way through it. It'll be fine. That's all. And try to enjoy it. Make some soup. Make sure you have some games. Most people who die in winter storms die because they didn't prepare or take it seriously. Don't be that. Don't be like one of them. You have a small window of time to use it. Buy what you can, prepare what you can, talk to your people, make a plan, execute the plan. When it gets bad, remember, you're not alone. Nope. Your neighbors are going through it too. Help each other, check on each other, share what you have. The storm will test people, but preparation saves lives, right? That's just what it is. Listen, we're going to get through this. And I want to thank Seth Holhouse for putting this together. And I like the list. Like I said, we've done this before. I've added a lot to it because of experience of what I've been through. But just no matter what you're doing, try to enjoy it. I know it's can be tough. Music Lover says ovens are not space heaters. You can open the door when it's off after baking to let the fuel or let the heat into the room, but that's it. Yeah, don't get in that trap. It's all about conserving energy and using energy properly, whether it's gasoline or propane or firewood or whatever it is. Things that you've prepared for. Hopefully you've prepared for these type of things in the summer and bought things that will help you through this times, because I know a lot of you down the south, we're going to be seeing news reports soon about, people getting hit and these storms coming. And Shelly Pollock says, veggie soup sounds good. Yes, it does. But listen, I hope this was helpful for you guys. I like talking about this kind of stuff, this survival prep kind of stuff. I enjoy the heck out of it, so hopefully it doesn't turn too bad for you guys down south. I know that you guys are not prepared for it. But if you do a little bit of preparing, like we just talked about right here, it's going to be all right. Right. You're going to get it through it. Email people, text people, let them know how your neighbors, whatever it is, let them know how you're feeling, how you're doing, check on people, make sure everybody's doing good, so listen, you guys are out there having a good time, with me right now, but I got to get going. Like I said, I'm going to get out there, get in the truck here shortly and go and prepare for, this next day of plowing. Looks like that snow might be done. I'll check the radar, but I suggest you guys down there too, keep checking your radar, keep planning for things. Airlines will probably be, scurrying around all this and having a lot of delays and cancellations and all this stuff. So, remember, just within the next few days, it's going to get rough, but it'll get, easy again. Okay. Don't worry about it. Just get your way through it. It's going to be fine is what I'm saying. So listen, if you guys like what you heard and you want to support the show, please consider becoming a sponsor of the show. If your situation fits, okay. Don't worry about us today. Worry about yourself and get everything that you need. If you want to help, you can go down there in the description and all that stuff and help that way. But take care of yourself and your family first. If you guys have anything interesting or relevant or something you want to add in, please do that. Email the show, dangerousinfopodcast@protonmail.com. I also suggest you guys join our Discord down there. I'm looking at it right now. We did some stuff the other day. Music Lover made a new thread that I'd like. It's called Government Projects. I want to be adding to there because there's a lot of stuff in there that, well, we should have probably always had this, but it's a good one. But there's also a lot of other things in there. News related, comment, or current events, homesteading, preparedness. We have all that stuff in there. Also on here in our, wherever you're listening to this, scroll back, especially the audio ones. you can scroll back and look at all preparedness videos or podcasts that we've done, right? We've done a lot of them. So check it out. Let me see. Shelly says, be safe out there. See you on the other side of this. Thanks, Jesse, for the tips. I'm going to research exploding trees. Yeah. Oh, that's Bigfoot out there doing that. This has been a great show. Have a great day, everyone. Stay safe out there. That's for Music Lover. Yeah. So thank you guys so much for being out there. Hicktown Honey says, listen to your northern friends. They know what's up. Yes, we do. We've been through it, so we're ready to get rolling on this. My tank is full. Tank is full. I filled it up. And more snow again, you guys. Crazy, never-ending winter is what this is. I'm just looking here, so I believe that's it, you guys. I just want to say thanks again to you guys for hanging out, being with us, listening to us again today. I'm Jesse Jaymz. He was Outcast. I don't see him. He wasn't here. He's working. That's why. Just want to say thanks again. Don't be threatened by the mainstream media fear campaigns. Rescue those in darkness around you guys. All right. Do not comply with unjust laws, mandates, or regulations. Trust your gut always, because that's God talking to you is what I'm saying. So listen, you got work to do before the storm gets in. Get out there, take care of your stuff, be prepared. God bless and stay dangerous, brothers and sisters. Stay dangerous, and God willing, we'll see you on Monday night. I might even throw a bunch of stuff here on our Instagram, the Dangerous Info Podcast Instagram. So listen, stay safe. We love you guys, and we'll talk to you guys soon. All right. Get busy out there. Get busy with your stuff. Have a good day.